Hey guys, benpaines here, and today we're back once again for another video, and this time we're doing something a little bit different, a little bit shorter. This is in fact the ultimate guide to Combat Karts at Teamsport. Now in this video, the sort of setting for this one is the new Teamsport Liverpool track, and honestly, if you haven't seen already the full layout of the normal track at Teamsport Liverpool, feel free to hit the link in the top right hand of the screen. But jumping into the footage, I'm just going to let that roll in the background while I just sort of talk over my personal experience compared to sort of commentating what's going on the screen, which is what I usually do. So in all honesty, a lot of people give the electric go-karts in general a lot of bad hate. I'd like to sort of stamp this out immediately, but this was genuinely a lot of fun. Now I came up here with Joseph Simcock and Jamie Sherman Chase, two drivers from Birmingham, and we just had an absolute great time. Now to begin with, this is honestly the most I've actually laughed or had fun in a go-kart in the last 2 years that I've been racing. It was just absolutely chaotic. Anything was going on, everything was going on, and it was just absolutely ridiculous. So you're going to see throughout the video how much we're just chopping and changing positions here and there all over the place. Obviously with the power-ups, you have different power-ups going on. So you have a bomb, which is more like a banana skin, and I'm going to refer to a lot of these sort of items as if I was playing Mario Kart, as essentially this is what it is. It's Mario Kart in real life, and it was just brilliant really. So we have the bomb, which you can drop backwards as a banana peel. We've got a sort of boost, which is like the mushroom that you get. You've got a super boost, which is like a really extended sort of king mushroom that you would get in Mario Kart. You've got a missile or a rocket, which is pretty much a red shell. You can shoot that into someone up ahead of you. And I believe there was something else there. Ah, yeah, that was it. There was also a protective sort of shield or bubble, which you could use around yourself to sort of protect you from anyone sort of coming after you with these power-ups. Now, obviously you can see here and there that we are getting random assortments of different items. So we've been given a bomb so far, we've just been given a missile there, we've used it, we've been hit by one. So you're looking around all over the place trying to see who hit you. It also reads out on the dashboard who hit you, so it's really easy to identify pretty quickly who's sort of targeting you, who you've hit, and it makes for a really enjoyable experience. Now the one sort of issue I do have with these karts is just compared to a lot of the normal racing that I would do, the karts are detuned to be really, really slow. Honestly, they're pretty much a slow jogging pace when you're not using any of the items. They're really slow, you're sort of trundling around. It feels sort of slower than a cadet kart probably would, and for someone that likes to have a lot of speed, this probably isn't really for you until you get given one of the boosts, which then sort of delimits the karts and you end up getting up to full power, and as if you're using an electric kart, you're pressing the boost button. So it is quite a large change of speed very quickly. Now obviously if you don't go karting, this probably will feel quite quick, the change in speed, very, very quick, very swift, and it would make for a lot of fun. Now you can see how animated I am in the kart, how much I'm looking around, I'm sort of laughing, and as I mentioned earlier, it was just the most I've laughed in a kart, the most fun I've had in a kart. You can also, as in the footage here, sort of opt to sort of avoid the items, go for a more conventional racing line, but honestly I feel like that's just going to put a detriment to yourself if you really do want to win in this activity, just because you just can't really defend yourself if someone really comes for you. And in sort of line with Mario Kart, you can see here on my screen as I'm going over the power-ups, when you're in first, it doesn't really alter to your position, so I was still getting rockets to shoot ahead of me, which I probably could have saved looking back at this, but I was just sort of firing them out as I just didn't really know what was going on, to be fair. I was just getting bumped and bashed all over the place, just sort of laughing away. It was really hysterical. And you can see Joe goes for a massive lunge down our inside, but trying to go over some of the power-ups, you can see there we tried to go over it. Sometimes unfortunately it wouldn't quite activate, which was a bit of a shame, and you can see how much time we lose because of it, just by not having a boost or being able to sort of take action against someone else by slowing them down. But yeah, honestly it was just so much fun, and I would highly recommend it to anyone if you're going to go along with a group of 4, 5, 6 of you, maybe even more. I wouldn't recommend this to go down somewhere on your own. I would definitely go as a group. I don't know if you can actually book onto this as a single person, but it was honestly, if you go with a group of friends, you're definitely going to start having a go at one another. You're going to have a right old laugh, you're going to be shouting at each other coming off. And as soon as we came off, we were all giggling to each other, chatting about it all, and it was just a really good environment to be in, obviously compared to when you're normally racing, and there's just not really too much to talk about sometimes, especially if you're just trundling around. Now here, at this point in the video, is where I take my first rib buster. Here I took a big dive bomb down the inside from the driver behind, and it actually hurt quite a bit, if I'm honest. Getting ploughed into, obviously the driver was using boost, wasn't able to slow the kart down enough, and it just caused us to get caught up in that sort of instant. But you can see here again the power difference when you do have the boost compared to someone that has been hit by an item. You're just able to slip around the outside or up the inside, and even when you hit someone, the kart gets tuned down even more, so you're pretty much at a walking pace when you get hit by a sort of missile or a bomb. It really does pull you back, and it was really difficult to actually escape sort of crab bucket in and around each other. You can see Joe's up ahead here. He's actually been able to escape by just using the boost, being able to get lucky with some of the power-ups to defend himself when someone does shoot a rocket off ahead of him, and this just leads to him getting further and further away, much like normal Mario Kart, where when you're in with the rest of your friends, if you're all just taking 7 bales out of each other, it's just going to cause a lot of problems. But honestly, just to round this one off, this was genuinely a lot of fun. I would highly recommend it if you do go with a group of friends, as I mentioned. And even though, as you can see here, I came across the line in last place, I definitely did not feel like a loser. It was such a fun time, and genuinely, as I mentioned, I would just highly recommend it. But that does in fact bring us to the end of the video in this one, guys. I hope you have enjoyed it. If you have, can you please leave a like on the video down below, as I really do appreciate it. And if you're new to the channel, if you haven't already, make sure to hit the subscribe button, as it really does help me out. As always, down below in the description is my link tree, which holds all of my social media channels, so feel free to follow me on there as well. And I do have a lot more videos coming out very soon in the future, as I have a lot of footage stored up that I'm ready to give to you guys. But in the meantime, I'll catch you guys in the next one. Take care.